Shalom. Back again. Once again, giving all acknowledgement to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to my teachers, in whom I learned this truth from, beginning with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. All right. I just want to do another quick video and just touching on, because people may, you know, watch the Hebrew Israelite community, and they may wonder and question, because we are counted as fools for preaching this gospel, because part of this ministry, part of the gospel or good news is seeing this kingdom being destroyed and Esau being taken out of power. But, for someone that doesn't know these things and understand these things, they might question and ask, why are we so adamant about this place being destroyed? Why do we want to see this place? Why do we want to see this place desperately fall? Because again, we know and understand the things to come after this. All right, because when it comes to this life, man, this isn't life. All right, and in this so-called life, man, which is temporary. You look forward to death in this kingdom. All right. Everything's just pretty much polluted. It's defiled, man. And but Yahweh Shai Shai promised us so much more and things so much better. Things that we can't fathom. We can't even bring to imagination. The things that are coming. All right. And this is what we strive for. All right. But part of that glory that we're going to receive in the kingdom is this right here, which I'm about to get into. 1 Corinthians 15, starting at verse 50, it says, "Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption." All right, because again, more so talking about, so here's the thing. In the kingdom, we're not going to be subjected to this flesh. All right. Because, just read it, this flesh and blood, and, it can't inherit the kingdom, and that's why, this is what we look forward to. Inheriting these new bodies is a part of it, bodies that don't get sick. All right. We're going to receive, man, just all type of just blessings, man, in the kingdom. Because again, now, just look, man, we're these bodies, we're always tired. All right. We're always thinking something that's just completely off. Right. And this is why we're constantly in need of mercy from Yahweh Shem Shai, because, these fleshes, man, this flesh, when you go to Jude, the first chapter, and starting at verse 6, it says, "And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day." So you see, when it's talking about that chain, these chains under darkness, it's talking about this flesh. All right, this spirit is trapped in this flesh. Okay, and this flesh is susceptible to wickedness. All right, like I said, in this kingdom you look forward to death. Everything's corrupted, everything's polluted. That includes the air that we breathe. But in the kingdom, you see, we're not going to be subjected to these things. In the kingdom, we're going to have new bodies. All right. Not a wicked thought is going to come into our mind. We're going to be hanging around brothers, and we're not going to be coveting, right? We're not going to be looking at other brothers' wives, trying to set them up to be killed, or none of that. All right. But here in this kingdom, in this body, we're subjected to these things. And this is why, the scriptures refer to this flesh as these chains under darkness. We're trapped. It's a prison cell, man. It's hell. So this is why, we look forward to getting the hell up out of here. And this is why we're so adamant on seeing this place be destroyed. Okay. We hate this place. Having to get up early to work a 9 to 5. I tell people around me often, when it comes to Israelites, it was never meant for us to work a day in our life. But here it is. You got a lot of Jakes, man. They might find a good job and think this is it, man. I always bring this point out. A lot of Jakes might get a good job, a decent job, and think they got it made, man. Where in reality, we're not supposed to work. It was set up for us to never work a day in our lives. That's what the other nations are for. That's what the heathens are for. Bondmen and bondwomen, slaves, right? They're supposed to do all the work, but here it is. They're living it up, right? We got to do all the work, the heavy lifting and whatnot. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be the opposite. An Israelite is never supposed to work a day in his life, a day in her life. So hey, that's something that we look forward to in the kingdom. These bodies are subjected to getting sick and allergies, and me myself personally, I go to the gym typically 5-6 days a week, man, and just to stay relevant. Where versus in the kingdom, you get those new bodies, man. We're not gonna have to do any of that. Always getting hurt, always getting some type of injury, right? Going back to 1 Corinthians the 15th, read verse 51. It says, "Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall be not all sleep, but we shall all be changed." So you see that? There's coming a point in time where, we're going to be changed out of these bodies. We're going to be given those new bodies, indestructible bodies, immortality. All right. Reading on in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trump shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. So again, this is what we look forward to. This is why we strive. This is why the prophets, they prophesy. This is why things are moving at a fast rate. Because His word is doing damage. I believe it's in Hebrews. It tells you how this word is. It cuts, man. It cuts like a two-edged sword. And Esau's kingdom is coming down, man. He's being taken out of power, all because of this word, and that's all through the spirit of and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. So we pray for these days to be hastened, so that we can get these new bodies, man. We're changed in the twinkling of an eye. All right. You read about Enoch, how during his time he was walking in the law, statutes, and ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shai, so much that the Lord just took him. He was changed. All right. You read about Elijah. Elijah the prophet was changed. He was taken up by a chariot. All right. Yahushua was taken up. All right. This is what we strive to be. All right. And touching on Enoch just a little bit, because he's a good example of how we want to be. Okay, because during his time he was preaching. He was preaching against all the wicked and abominations that were going on during his time. All right. Um, and again, the Lord seemed it fit that he be taken and translated in the twinkling of an eye. All right. And that's how we want to be. We don't want to be a part of this destruction when it touches here in America, touches down on Babylon. We don't want to partake in that destruction. We want to be changed. We want to be taken up. All right. Real quick. Go to 2nd Ezra 7. Here it is. We got people that look at us like we're the crazy ones for prophesying the downfall of this place. But little do they know, man. There's so much more to it than this. All right, this isn't life, man. This is death. This is hell. All right, and we're dying to get out of here, man. Let me get this in 2nd Ezra 7 and 43. It says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time. All right. And it says, in the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. So you see, when, for those that are, taken up in those chariots, and those that are translated in twinkling of an eye, that begins immortality, because again, we're going to be given incorruptible bodies. And, that's going to be the end of these corruptible bodies, these chains of darkness. This is going to, that's going to be the end of it. Right. And, this starts pretty much immortality. All right. There's going to be no more wickedness. All right. Like I said, not an evil thought is going to pop into our minds, But again, this is what we look forward to, man, because we believe. It's all about faith at the end of the day. A lot of Jakes, man, they think this is it, which they get that from Esau, because Esau, they believe that, once you die, you don't, that's just it. Your body just sits there in the grave, you just sit there and rot forever. No, there's so much more to life after this life, man. There's so much more to it. And this is what we look forward to. This is what we want, man. Let me go to Psalms 17 and 15. It says, as for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. So you see, because the scriptures talk about, being joint heirs with Yahushua. All right. And the scriptures also talk about how, Yahushua, it talks about how we be doing greater works than he did, because, pretty much, he's not here to do it himself. So, pretty much, certain brothers, going to be giving that lot, because one thing, it's going to start on this side, it's going to start on the side, and even more so, on a very low level, brothers, certain brothers already have that spiritual power, because again, it's all about this faith, man. The scriptures talk about how, just your faith, man, to be able to move mountains, man. Because like I said, preaching this gospel, you see things moving at a rapid rate because of this word is being preached, right? And again, that's a form of spiritual power, But again, it says when I awake with thy likeness. So because again, real quick, going to Matthew's 5 and 48, it tells us 5 and 48. It says, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." Okay, because ultimately the ultimate goal is to be like the Most High. All right, but when Yahushua shows up and he delivers his elect, we're going to be given those spiritual bodies, and we're going to be made in, fit to that image. All right. Because, when Yahushua shows up, he's showing up in his glory. He's showing up in power, majesty. All right. And, those elect spirits, man, they're going to, going to be translated and pretty much, given the same thing, you know. Um, you read about Yahushua, he did all type of miracles and wonders, man. Things that, a lot of things that weren't even written in the book, because the scriptures tell you that, all the works that Yahushua did, it couldn't be contained in this book. So how much more, well, I'm not going to say how much more, but, because like I said, according, scriptures tell you that we'd be doing more than Yahushua did. So, because again, it's going to start on this side, when all hell starts breaking loose and things of that nature. You're going to start, certain brothers, they're going to be given certain, spiritual powers, and a lot of spiritual interventions are going to be taking place, because again, it's going to start on this side. But, once the elect are beamed up in those chariots, that's when, pretty much, immortality is going to be in full effect. All right. Because again, this flesh and body, man, it just can't, it can't, it can't inherit the kingdom. All right. When we get those, those bodies, man, brothers are going to be ruling the galaxy, under the rulership of Yahushua. We're going to be ruling the galaxies and stuff, and that, we're going to be doing things that this body can't do, I often meditate on this, with the angels. They're constantly going to and fro, back to earth, back to the Heavenly Father in the spiritual realm. They're constantly traveling, going to and fro, to and fro. And if they had, these bodies, man, if they were trapped in the chains of darkness as we are, they couldn't do it. They'd be tired. They just won't be able to do it. And this is why we need those spiritual bodies, man. Bodies that don't get tired. They don't break down or wear out or anything. They don't get sick or nothing. That's what we look forward to. That's why we do this. That's why we're so adamant. All right. I'm gonna go to Philippians 3:21. It says, "Who shall change our vile body?" So you see these bodies, man, they're vile. This flesh is a joke, man, and I'm sure anyone who sees this video, I'm sure you could relate. You get bones that break, man. All type of, always getting sick. You're just always tired. These bodies are always breaking down, man. This is why we need to be changed. This is why we want those new bodies. It says that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body. So you see, we want those glorious bodies. That's part of the glory that we're going to receive in the kingdom. Having these bodies, these indestructible, immortal bodies, fashioned like unto our big brother Yahushua. All right. It says, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. Yeah, man. This is something, I'm often meditating on, because, again, when Yahushua walked the scene, he was able to manipulate the elements and, manipulate the, the weather patterns and, he's able to reappear and disappear. We're going to be able to do these things when we get those new bodies, those spiritual bodies, those celestial bodies. All right. Because right now we're in, we got these terrestrial bodies. Let me go back to 1 Corinthians 15. So we got these terrestrial bodies, which that word comes from the word terrain, which, comes from the earth, the terrain, the earth, dirt, the dirt. All right. We want those celestial bodies, those angel-like bodies, those spiritual bodies, man. That's what we want. All right. 1 Corinthians 15. I'll start at verse I'll start at verse 40, verse 40. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. So you see those right now we have those we have these terrestrial bodies. Let me see what the definition here is. Terrestrial as existing upon the earth, earthly terrestrial. So you see these bodies, man, because scriptures tell you that man was formed from the dust of the earth. All right, and that's why when we die or when these bodies die, they return back to where it came from, which is the earth. And that's why a lot of times when you see in the pretty much a lot of times the dust in your house or the dust that collects in your on your windshield or whatever the case may be, that's dead dead cells from skin cells, skin particles, you know um because that's all at the end of the day, that's all this body is. It's just dirt, man. It's earth. The scriptures tell you that. Here it is, concerning Esau, talks about how, why is and I'm quoting it, but it pretty much talks about how, well, why is pretty much the dust proud, why do we get prideful, when at the end of the day all we are is just dirt, man. We're dust. Like I said, and that's why when we die, when these bodies die, they go back to the dirt. They go back to the earth. You leave a body for a certain amount of time. That's why eventually it just becomes dust. But we want those celestial bodies, as it says. Or let me read on. It says, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. So see, we want those celestial bodies. Let me see what this definition says. Forgot to look it up. Existing in heaven, you see? Things that take place in heaven, the heavenly regions, heaven itself, and the abode of God and angels, the lower heavens of the stars, the heavens of the clouds. So you see, those celestial bodies, they're able to travel in and out of, realms and in and out of the third heavens where the Heavenly Father is at. You see, this is what we want, because like I said, when in the kingdom, man, we're gonna be certain brothers are gonna be given different charges over different sections of I'm talking about the universe now. We're going to be given rulership over different planets and galaxies and things of that nature. And we need those celestial bodies. We can't do it in these these earth and these terrestrial bodies. It's impossible. So this is just all part of why we look forward to getting out of here. This is what we look forward to. These are the things that we meditate on. But of course, a lot of jakes, they don't see things like, they just don't see it like that. This is all, for the most part, this is all we know. It's just, being tired and just being in pain. There's a scripture, Psalms 126 and 1. It says, when Yahweh turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dreamed. So you see, once our Lord delivers us out of this hell, it's gonna appear as if it was a dream, because this is all we know. Just being in pain, just being in misery, just trapped in his body. This is all we know. So when once we're changed in the twinkling of an eye, it's going to appear like it was a dream, and this is a nightmare that we're living in. This nightmare it's almost over. We're almost out of here. This is why we strive to to, to get out of this place, because we're living in a living nightmare. You know, real quick, this is because this is one of my favorite scriptures of all time, man. Revelations 21 and 4. It says, "And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death." Yeah, because once we're changed in the twinkling of an eye, and we have those perfect bodies. Like I said, there's going to be no more sin within us. So death is going to be swallowed up in victory. All right, there's going to be no more death. Reading on, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. So you see, there's going to be no more pain, no more suffering. There's going to be none of that. All that's going to be swallowed up. And this is what the Lord had promised us concerning the new covenant. All right, let me get that real quick. You read it, Hebrews 8, Hebrews 8, starting at verse 8. It says, "For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people." So you see, with these new bodies, we're going to be all righteous. We're going to be perfect. When you read on in verse 11, it says, "And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest." So you see, because right now, we're in the process, we're out there teaching and educating, others, teaching one another, because we don't know. We're not perfect. We're not at this point yet. The new covenant hasn't been established within us yet. So we have to go out there and physically, talk to our people to stop eating pork, stop smoking, stop committing adultery, stop doing these things, because right now, again, we're in these fleshly bodies, and we're constantly battling, our own lustful thoughts, and our own wicked ways and whatnot. But with the new covenant, the scripture, it tells you, he's going to put the laws in our hearts and in our minds, right? So there's not going to be a need to teach one another, because we're going to know everything. We're going to know everything. We're going to be perfect. We're going to know all the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. And that's what comes with having a new body. These new celestial bodies. That's what comes with it. Knowing all the laws, statutes, and commandments perfectly. We're going to be completely righteous. That's why it says, that's why the scriptures say, according one, being pretty much, changed in his likeness. We're gonna be perfect. So real quick, I'm go back to 1 Corinthians 15. Jump on down. Verse 53 says, "For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality." Because that's what comes with those new bodies, immortality. We're going to live forever. We're going to be perfect. All right. It says, "So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, Death is swallowed up in victory." So you see, when this takes place, because due to sin, death, this is why, we die. But once we have those new mortal bodies, and, we become immortal, and we're changed in those new bodies, there's going to be no need for death, because we're going to be perfect. We're going to have the new covenant, which is knowing the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shai Shai. All right. Perfectly. We're just going to be perfect. Everything's going to be perfect. We're going to have perfect bodies, perfect mind state. Everything's going to be set in this righteous order. All right. I'll just read on. It says, "O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?" Yeah, because the reward for committing iniquity is death. All right. But again, the reward of committing sin, the payment is punishable by death. But once we have those new bodies, we're going to be perfect, and we're not going to be going off anymore. We're not going to be committing sin. So, death is going to be swallowed up in victory. And I believe you can read about that real quick in Isaiah 25. It talks about that, I think. It talks about death swallowed up in victory. Verse 20, Isaiah 25:8, it says, he will swallow up death in victory. And Yahweh, thy power will wipe away tears from off all faces. You see that? And it says, and the rebuke of his people shall be taken away from off all the earth. For Yahweh hath spoken it. So again, this is something that Yahweh Shai promised us. And, we know that, the Lord be a man not to lie, So we know this thing is coming eventually, and this is what we strive for. This is what we look forward to. This is why we're so adamant about this place being destroyed. All right. This is why, we I watch certain brothers' videos, and, sometimes that, you could just, I could just, feel the passion, man. A lot of brothers, they teach this word in passion. They're sincere with it. Because, hey, man, this thing is for real, man. And we want to get out of here. We're tired of this place. We're tired of this prison, this hell, So yeah, man, just wanted to talk about that a little bit, ramble on just a little bit. Something to be meditating on, man. These are the things that, we should be meditating on. Receiving new bodies, spiritual powers. Because like I said, it's going to start on this side. So, Yahweh Ratazah, you were edified, Once again, giving all acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai Shai. Double honors, much respects to my teachers, beginning with the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. And until next time, I say Shalom.